We are on wildfire watch tonight at 10. Communities on alert. Thousands of acres torched as flames force Arizonans out of their homes.
Evacuation orders in place now for multiple wildfires, and we have team coverage tonight. Jordan Bonnke tracking the Crook Fire south of Prescott.
But we begin with our Christine Stanwood covering the tunnel fire near Flagstaff for us tonight. Christine?
6,000 acres burned here in just a matter of hours, Katie and Steve, and those high wind gusts are the reason why so many people are having to evacuate their homes. Earlier today, we noted wind gusts reached upwards to 50 miles an hour, and you can still see winds are continuing to pick up. It's left hundreds having to leave their homes and their pets.
Well, Sunday was just typical spot fire. I mean, it's not uncommon.
But as the wind whipped for days through northern Arizona, thousands of neighbors are now forced to make difficult decisions. How did it look today, though, in comparison?
Oh, 1,000 times worse.
It was just this thick brown wall of smoke going like over my house.
The tunnel fire now heading northeast, impacting Sunset Crater National Monument and subdivisions within Donny Park, like Timberline Estates, Waputke Trails, Fernwood, where over 10,000 people live.
We know that there are structures that have burned.
So far, more than 20 buildings destroyed in the fire, and around 800 homes and 1,000 animals have been evacuated.
Hopefully it's not days till we know if our house is standing or not. I think that's a little bit ridiculous if that's the case.
We were there for community briefing at a Red Cross evacuation center set up at a middle school in Flagstaff.
There were air tankers and helicopters that were ordered today. It was too windy for them to fly safely.
Officials say it could take at least 48 hours until residents know if they can return.
We had 45 minutes and all I grabbed was animals and a laundry bag of dirty clothes. I'm just hoping my house is still standing. I've got 100 ducks and turkeys and chickens and peacocks in my backyard that if they don't get burned, they're going to die of smoke inhalation.
Thomas McKenna rushed from work to home to get his family with 2 young children out of the house.
Smoke's in real heavy, and that was my biggest concern. Things can be replaced. We got animals, loved ones, neighbors, all that's safe. So we're grateful for that.
McKenna is staying with a family friend until he knows if he can return. It's unclear whether anyone has been hurt in the fire.
Families refuse to leave. We try to plead with them to come out, but several, again, have refused.
Investigators are still looking into exactly what caused the fire, but it's important to keep in mind that US Highway 89 north of Flagstaff remains closed out of safety precautions. Also, this just a few minutes ago, the Coconino County Board of Supervisors have declared a state of emergency, and help from out of state we know will be arriving as soon as possible. Reporting north of Flagstaff, Christine Stanwood, ABC 15, Arizona.
Christine, stay safe out there. The other major fire now, the Crook Fire, ballooning to more than 1,600 acres. This one burning south of Prescott. ABC 15's Jordan Bonnke on scene, continuing our team coverage for you tonight.
This is as close as we can get to a wildfire that's burned hundreds of acres at the Prescott National Forest. Evacuations are remote, but one group that needed to be evacuated today was a kids' camp inside the forest. From just outside the front door of the Red Cross evacuation shelter at Yavapai College in Prescott, plumes of smoke could be seen from the Crook's fire. For most of the day Tuesday, high winds posed a challenge for those battling the flames. All Bill Garrigus could do was watch from afar.
Yeah, your heart's beating out of your chest and you don't know how much time you have.
Bill and his family live in a remote area of the Prescott National Forest, where most of the evacuations were ordered. He says that he got a push alert on his phone to get out, and those high winds making his decision even easier.
1 minute's going east, 1 minute is going west. So the unpredictability of it, we decided to get out of there.
The Red Cross shelter at Yavapai College isn't expecting more than 2 evacuees staying overnight, but more than 130 kids were inside the shelter at one point Tuesday. Out of an abundance of caution, they evacuated a camp inside the forest. They were provided food, and they were bused back to the valley. Karen Pimentel is the shelter supervisor.
So I'm thinking food. Kids will always calm down with food.
The shelter will stay open as long as evacuations are still in place. In Prescott, Jordan Bonnke, ABC 15, Arizona.